Thank you for joining 7 Minutes with Romain Laville. I am appreciative that you've taken the time out to be with me here today. One of the things I want to discuss today is the rights of employees to transfer from one company to the next. You may ask yourself the question, why do I want to discuss that? Recently in the newspaper, I had a chance to read, and it was a bittersweet sensation and feeling that I had. We have a situation in St. Martin where employers, for whatever reason, have found it fit to be able to take advantage of our hardworking people in St. Martin. And I am not saying that with this situation that transpired, that was the case with the employers. But clearly, it is something that should never happen in St. Martin. I want to read what the court's decision, especially a paragraph that it stated what really happened and why the court made the decision that it did. It says the court of first instance established on Thursday a decision that contrary to the civil code, contrary to the Netherlands, the civil code of St. Martin does not provide any regulations for the transfer of workers from one employer to the other. We all know what transpired in 2011, where it entails mass layoff of hard-working men and women down at the Pelican Resort. We all know it was in Parliament. We had meetings on it. A lot of us as members of Parliament at the time went down to the workers to console them. A lot of us promised that we would make sure that the situation that they're going through will never happen again. A lot of us brought motions in Parliament to be able to condemn a certain individual in Parliament who some felt that was responsible in having the dual responsibility, both in Parliament and the employer, for letting go of these people. You know, the saying, hindsight is 20/20. As the youngest member of Parliament at that time, and seeing mothers and fathers that I have, their children I went to school with, seeing what they were going through, and the feeling of having to wake up every morning to a job that you really don't like, but to do that for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, and all of a sudden have a company just decide that we're no longer in operations, we're selling over, someone is buying it, the company is going bankrupt, but all of a sudden someone comes out of the blue and buys over the company, and it's the same business that is continuing. You know, we have to take a position in St. Martin. And on the 17th of April 2013, I took a decision. I took a decision by sitting, not only talking about the issue, I took a decision not only being there to console those grieving mothers and fathers when they came to Parliament, but I took a decision, and a programmatic decision, in spending time with their lawyers and to find out why are they going through the situation, what are the legal issues that we are being plagued with here, what can we do as legislators in Parliament to be able to make sure that this situation never happens to our hardworking people. And so after my discussion with the lawyers, it was clear that certain articles were taken out of what is called the rights of employee to transfer from one company to the next, and that was Article 662, 666. That secures, that makes it tight and guaranteed that if for whatever reason a company decides, you know, they would want to get out of business and someone else has to buy over, or a company decides that they're going bankrupt and someone comes in, that the years and the service and the benefits of those employees are not wasted, does not go down in vain. And so on the 17th of April 2013, 3 years ago, A motion was presented in Parliament to make sure that this would never happen again. I am happy to be the signatory. I'm happy to be the orchestrator of that motion, because consoling our people as legislators is not enough. Talking to our people and telling them that we care about them is not enough. There must be action. And I am hopeful that we wake up as a country. I'm hopeful that we wake up as legislators, as government on a whole, that regardless of who brings any form of legislation to Parliament, once it is good for the people, that legislation can pass. It was my hope 3 years ago that that legislation would have passed, that never again we would have gone through a situation like we went through in 2011. Nonetheless, today we are still faced with that situation 3 years later. And so I am resolved in my efforts. I am steadfast in my support to the people of St. Martin to make sure that that legislation that was presented 3 years ago by my person can see the light of day, can be fulfilled, can be fully enacted, that no parent, no mother, no father have to have in the back of their mind when they get up in the morning to go to work, will I lose my ears again? And so I encourage you all to visit my Facebook page. It is Senator Romain J. Laville. I will be posting many articles and blogs to discuss certain issues within our society. And I thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to serve you in 2010, 2014. And I ask for your support once again on September the 26th, 2016, to vote for my person, Romain Laville, on the U.S. party. It is time for us to stand up. It is time for us to deal with the issues. It is my strong belief that enough is enough. And so I thank you once again for joining. This is 7 Minutes with Romain Laville. God bless you, and God bless the wonderful people of St. Martin.